Hi, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to another Arthur Abel webinar. My name is Holistic Nisha, whichever name that you think, whichever name you want to go by or whatever name you want me to go by. I am Denisha Arthur. I am a holistic wellness and life coach. I coach people to get to one level to the next, mind, body, and spirit. So that can be your career goal, your transformation goal, your business goal, your personal goal, your children goal, your health goal. I do that all. Whatever goal you have, I help you get to one level to the next level. Yes, it's vague, but that's what I do, right? So today's webinar is about I am more than enough. I am more than enough. So what does that mean? It's self-love, self-care, self-worth, self-confidence, self-esteem, right? All these selves. That's what this is all about, because you have to work on the inner you to manifest something on the outer you, right? So whatever you feel on the inside is how your outside world is going to come at you, how the outside world is going to receive it. So you have to work on the inside in your relationships, in your job, with your children, with the type of car you want, what type of house you want, what type of all these other things. You have to go to the inner you so you can find what that is, what you are attracting. You know how people say, if it's not one thing, it's the next. That's because you're attracting something on that you have not healed or completed, or a chapter in you that you have not completed. Some doors are not shut. So everything on that outside world is going to attract whatever you feel, right? You are what you attract. That's what this is about. Whatever you feel that you're worth on the inside, that's how people are going to treat you. That's how people are going to talk to you. That's how people are going to respect you. So when you're in relationships, you be like, man, I just want to be loved. You just want to have your space filled with love and respect and somebody that you can trust. But if you don't feel that way on the inside, how can you move on? So you see all these relationships that have that struggle love theory, right? We've been through it all together. But you have to be oneness with yourself. You have to be more than enough with yourself. You have to feel that self-worth. So people add to it, right? You don't want to be in a relationship. A lot of people get in relationships so people can make you feel loved, feel respected, feel worth. You don't want nobody to make you feel these ways, because as much as they can make you feel it, they can take it away and you still feel empty. So the purpose of this is to make you feel enough by yourself. So when that job comes, when that relationship comes, when willing participants comes to help you along the way, you don't feel intimidated. You feel like, okay, they're adding to my journey of my goal, right? So that's what self-worth does. It allows you to be one with yourself, know your worth, know who you are in life. So anything other than that, you can attract those things. So if you have a goal to get, a house or find a career that you thoroughly enjoy, you're going to attract willing participants and all these other outside things to help you find your journey. They're adding to your worth. But if you don't have your worth and know what you're worth right now, all those things that come, you're going to feel intimidated. You're going to feel like you are not enough. You're going to feel like you don't deserve it. You're going to feel all these things. So the purpose of this is to make you feel more than enough now. To make you feel more than enough now. Not when it comes. Not when you have all that money in your bank account. Now. Okay? My ebooks. Let's talk about that. Everything that I talk about in my webinars are in these ebooks. This webinar specifically is in I Choose Me First and self-care during difficult times. Especially self-care during difficult times, because it helps you to find yourself before you move on, before you get that career, before you have millions of dollars in your bank account, before you attract willing participants to help you to get to where you need to go, for these blessings, these miracles to happen, right? Because we think that adds that adds to our self-confidence and our worth. But really, your worth is without it. So let's get into it. Go to giftedindaline.com and purchase these ebooks. I forgot to mention that. Go to giftedindaline.com and purchase all these ebooks and get on my email list. Okay? My email list is lit as fuck. Okay? It's lit. It's litty. Like I don't spam you. You only get one email a week. And it's about helping you stuff like this and manifesting. And I'm mind, body, and spirit. So I give you holistic foods to eat to raise your vibration, recipes, and things like that. Okay? So go to giftedindaline.com. See that scroll at the bottom? Go to giftedindaline.com and sign up for your email and one-on-one consultations and all that. So let's get started. I Am More Than Enough webinar. Have you ever wondered what it is like to be in love with yourself? We always say, yes, I know my worth. Yes, I love myself. But do you really? Like, we say that because we don't want people to look at us sideways, or that's just the right thing to say and we say it on impulse. You don't want to be in front of a whole group of people and be like, nah, I don't really think I love myself, right? You're really not going to say that in real life. You might say it to a close friend, family member, or somebody that you trust, but you're not going to say that out loud. And you probably won't say it to somebody that you really love because they're going to look at you sideways, right? So have you ever wondered what it's like to be really in love with yourself? Do you really believe in true happiness? Do you really believe it can happen to you? That makes a difference. Now, let's see if this webinar is for you. If you can say this statement without hesitating and you feel confident in this statement, then you on the right track. But if not, we're going to get you on the right track. No matter what happens externally, no matter what's taken away from me, I am not affected internally. Let me say that again. No matter what happens externally, and no matter what's taken away from me, materialistically, right? I am not affected internally. So who are you without these things? Who are you without the fine car? Who are you without the designer clothing or nice clothing? Who are you without a nice house or furniture or decked out decor? Who are you without those things? Can you say that statement out loud and feel confident in it? All right, self-worth versus self-esteem. Self-esteem is what we think and feel and believe about ourselves. Self-worth is recognizing I am greater than all those things. It's a deep knowing that I am a value that sorry, it's hard to read, it's small. I can read, I promise. It's a deep knowing that I am a value, that I am lovable, necessary to this life, and incomprehensive worth. So what does that mean, Nisha? Self-worth is what people think of like I'm greater than these things. So when you have true self-worth, that means that I am valuable without all these external things. I do not attach my value to a car. I do not attach my value to what kind of clothes I have. I do not attach my value to how much money I have in my bank account, right? Self-esteem is what we think about ourselves with the self-worth. So it's how you feel about yourself, right? How you believe how people view you. Many people attach their worth to possessions that they have or validations from the outside world. So you validate yourself from what the outside world says. What is your definition of self-worth? Think about that. What is your self-esteem telling you about your self-worth? Now let's move forward. Knowing your self-worth. Your self-worth is not determined by how others treat you. It's not. It's not determined how other people treat you. It's not determined how other people view you. It's not determined how other people think of you, believe that you are. Your self-worth is who you are, period. You constantly have to remind yourself that your bank account, your job, social media have nothing to do with how valuable you are, how worthy of a person you are. It has nothing to do with it. And you have to constantly remind yourself, what I see on social media has nothing to do with. Or do you really, people be like, social media is just for entertainment. Or I just post things for fun. But do you really? Some people post things for validation. What if you get 0 likes? Do you delete it? Or do you keep it there and keep it moving? Does it affect you? What kind of way does it affect you? When nobody interacts with you, do you be like, man, let me just post something out of the ordinary to get some attention on this? What does social media tell you about your self-worth and your self-esteem? If you go live and nobody's looking at your live, do you feel some type of way? You need to check that. All right, guys, you know I'm full of activities because I like to get results. I'm result driven. I like solutions. All right, we're going to do a self-worth activity. Imagine that everything you have is suddenly taken away from you. Like everything. Like everything. Right? Like homeless. Everything. Like no job, no car, no house, no clothes, just you. Right? Imagine that. How would you feel? No friendships, no relationships, no career. Ask yourself, who am I without these things? What would I actually have that is of value? So all these things taken away from you. Everything. No friendships, no career, no accomplishments, no achievements. Who are you when you're stripped of all these things? What value do you actually have? So that means what is your personality like? What do you love doing? What value do you bring to the world? Giving you time to think about that. All right, we got a couple of questions. What brings the most passion and fulfillment and joy? What brings that most to you? For me, I love to help people. Love it. Like I do these lives, I do these webinars, and really like 10 people watch it. And when I go live, sometimes it be 0 people. But I love doing it, so I do it anyway. I love it. Like I love helping people. I love helping people get to one level to the next. Some of these lives I have 0 watchers. Some of these my posts 2 people like, right? But I still do it because I love it. That brings me fulfillment. I love doing it. I just love doing it. How do others speak about you? Think about that. When they be like, oh, she's turn up. She can drink somebody, or she has good sex, or he has good sex. Like, what do they say about you? Like, what is your reputation about? Now, let's be very careful about this, okay? Because what they say is not who you are, right? But it adds something to it if they're not pulling out a quality that's your inner you. So if they just surface level say, hey, she makes me laugh, right? That can be a quality that you can add to your value. Okay, I'm funny. I like that. I can go with that. Like, I can be in a room full of people and make people feel good. You know what I'm saying? So be very careful about how others speak about you when I ask you that question. Okay? Where do I tend to consistently let myself down at? Ooh, that's a good one. Now, I'm going to give y'all a story on this. For me, a personal one. For me, where I constantly let myself down at, I used to have sex just because. Like, I was just like, I just wanted to feel good in the moment. Like, I had toxic sexual experiences. Honestly. Honestly, I really did. And I did not know how to channel that into self-empowerment. I channeled that into my self-worth, right? It was nothing empowering about it. I had to learn how to channel that energy into something empowering. So that's why I teach people the self-worth. That's how I teach people how to manifest something that they really want. Because you have to focus that energy. Because you can change anything negative into a positive. You have to refocus that energy and change your perspective of it. And walk in that perspective. Okay? You can't just tell people, well, no, I'm just a free spirit. But you have to like walk that walk and talk that talk. You have to be like, okay, I'm going to channel this energy. So when somebody else says something about me, like for me, I'm talking for me. When somebody else says, oh, she is this free spirit and she just has sex and she just does this and she just does that and she just goes off the whim, I'd be like, no, I just march to the beat of my own drum. I don't listen to the outside world to determine what I should do. Because I know my worth, right? So with the toxic sexual experiences, I'm like, okay, I had to cut down. And what cut that down is my alcoholism. Like, it just took me some places, right? Everybody, if y'all see my YouTube, you've seen what I've talked about what I've been through. I'm very open what I've been through because I know that somebody in this world can identify with that. Okay? But enough about me. But that is something that I tend to constantly let myself down about. Partying too much. Oh my God. I used to be a party girl, right? So I was not focused on my goals. I was focused on making other people happy and not making myself happy. So my cup was not running over. So what do you tend to consistently let yourself down about? All right. What are 3 things that you are good at? 3 things that you are good at. When was the last time you felt your best? Without when I had a car, that's when I felt better. No. If you have to attach yourself when you had something last, when I was in a good relationship, then you need to check yourself, right? You need to do a self-check. Because if the last time you felt your best is when I was in a happy relationship, or when I had a house, or when I had my car, or when so if you attach yourself to possessions, then you need to check yourself. When was the last time you felt happy with helping someone else? Right? So usually in self-worth, volunteering seems to be like one of the top things that people feel worth, right? Not worth less because they're helping somebody. You're using your strength to help somebody else in their weakness. So that makes them feel, the person feel, more accepted, more as an asset to the world. So when was the last time you felt happy when helping someone else without guilt, shame, without remorse or wanting something back, right? Because a lot of people help because they want to help, with a lot of vindictive underlying ways. But when you genuinely help somebody. So I want you to take some time to think about those questions. Think about, do some self-reflecting on what you think your self-worth really is. All right. Everybody knows I love affirmations. But no, really, affirmations, like, they're dope as fuck. Like, it's a start on how to change your mind and change your perspective on your life, right? Many people have negative core beliefs that cause harmful consequences. To begin challenging your negative beliefs, name them and then replace them with something positive using I am statements. Your positive affirmations should be spoken daily. Why? Because your thoughts always become things. What you think about is what you are. Affirmations increase your vibrations. That's why I love, like, when I was in my darkest space, affirmations was one of the things that helped me dig myself out of the hole, right? Because, people can't help you get out of a hole. They can extend their arm to help you get out of that hole, but if you don't do your own digging, then it's not going to be valuable, right? Because you're going to attach that person to yourself, to that person that helped you get out, and when that person is not there or available anymore, you don't feel right. So affirmations, guys, I cannot stress how affirmations higher your vibrations. It reminds you every day of how worthy you are. So get out a pen and piece of paper and let's do our affirmations. So on one side, you're going to write your negative beliefs, your negative core beliefs. Core beliefs, okay? Core beliefs about yourself. So, for example, I put, I am unlovable. And then you're going to replace it with a positive affirmation using I am statements. I am loved by many people. Even if you don't feel that you are loved by many people, you have to write it. You got to say it until you believe it, right? So and then when you will start believing it more, but then you start seeing how much people love you, how much you are of value to other people's lives, right? So think about it. When you say I'm unlovable, you start seeing it, right? Like, people start treating you like that. Simple. And then when you start saying I am loved by many people, you're gonna see who loves you. It's simple. It's nothing complicated. Literally. That's literally what it is. Simple. I am not good enough. I am more than enough. I am worthless. I feel valuable just being me. I love myself for who I am. I'm growing. I'm learning. And that's it. I am undeserving. I am fully deserving of abundance, happiness, and blessings. Affirmations are just simple. It's nothing complicated. You are what you think about. So if you say, I'm hungry, guess what? You're going to be hungry. You know how, like, you wasn't hungry and then you see somebody eating it and all of a sudden you're hungry? That's exactly what an affirmation is. If you if you hang around people who like to do the most, you're going to start doing the most eventually. You're going to participate. It's simple. If you hang around people who support you and love you, you're going to feel loved. Simple. Boundaries. Simple. Okay? I don't know what else to say about that. But self-care. Now, listen. A lot of people feel guilty about self-care. And we're going to... my ebook, number 1, talks about this in very good detail. Very, very good details. I Choose Me First talks about this in great detail, but I'm going to touch on it. Putting yourself first without guilt. Be gentle with yourself. What does that mean, Nisha? I don't know what be gentle with myself means. It means don't be so hard on yourself. Okay? Don't push yourself to a limit where you are dehydrated. Don't push you to your limit where your cup is so empty, you have nothing else left to give. Don't push yourself to enough where you just give, and don't give to yourself. Don't push yourself. Don't push yourself to the point where I gotta work. And that's it. Y'all heard that song by Solange? I try to drink it away. Cranes in the Sky. Y'all need to listen to that if you haven't. Cranes in the Sky by Solange. That is exactly what self-care. It's a self-care thing. Okay? Don't push yourself. Don't try to drown yourself in thoughts. Don't try to drown yourself in your work. Don't try to drown yourself in hanging out around people. You need to be gentle with yourself. Take some time to yourself. You can't drink it away. You can't run it away. You can't travel it away. You can't be deep in your career away because it's going to still be there. I promise. I lived it. I tried it. It didn't work. Okay? All right. So, self-care doesn't mean that your responsibilities are second. It means that you are balancing your needs and your life. You're balancing it. So slow down and check in with yourself. How do I do that, Nisha? Got you. All right, self-care check-ins. I'm going to add this to my calendar, by the way. But self-care check-ins. Is my cup full? You can't be a good parent if your cup is not full. You're going to be a toxic-ass mom, a toxic-ass dad. Okay? You're going to be a toxic parent. You ain't toxic as fuck if your cup is not full. If you are continuously running on low fumes, you're going to run out of gas. And your kids are going to miss out on a healthy life. What it's like to be in a healthy environment. I don't care if you're a single parent. I don't care. If you are not full, your kids are not going to experience what it's like to have a healthy environment. If you are not full, your coworkers, you, as whatever position that you're in, you're not gonna experience what it's like to have a healthy environment, a healthy career. Because you're gonna take everything in as negative. Period. Okay. When was the last time I took a mental break? Did I have quiet time today? Did I spend time outdoors? Listen, let me tell you something. During the coronavirus, you noticed that everybody just wanted to get outside, whether they're sitting on the porch. That's because the source on the outside, the sunlight, gives you the type of energy you need to move forward. Okay? That's important. That's why people like outdoors. You can just sit outside on your porch and get in some sunlight, take in some fresh air, because that's important. Okay. So, am I still achieving my goals? Ha! That's a good one. We run, help. I'm here, I'm that, I wear all these different hats. But are you achieving your goals? Are you doing what you said you was going to do in the beginning? At the beginning of the year, you be like, ooh, I'm lit. I'm about to knock all these goals out. And then June come, you be like, right? Closing chapters. Self-worth. Boundaries. Boundaries. What talks about boundary? I Choose Me First talks about boundaries. Closing chapters. Close chapters with people, places, habits, television shows, thoughts, family members, jobs, etc. Protect your peace at all costs. If you find yourself at peace without certain people, things, trust that shit. Okay? Trust it. If you find yourself, perfect example. I was head over heels on the guy. Head over heels with this guy, right? Head over heels. We were an awesome couple, right? We were great. We broke up on some fuck shit. So, man. Depression, hello. Suicide, hello. That's when all that shit happened. Well, one of the episodes. So, then, like, I let it go. Like, I was in the place I let it go. And then let me tell you how the outside brings back in to like make sure that you let it go. Let me tell you how that works. He came back in. We talked, all that I'm sorry shit. And then guess what? I started feeling uncomfortable again. I started feeling like crying. I found myself crying more. Like, that shit was weird. Like, I started crying more. Like, I started finding myself being an emotional roller coaster. And I found like it started triggering a lot of stuff about myself. And I ain't like that shit. So then I was like, all right, let me just, yeah, all right, yeah, whatever. And then I started feeling good about myself. And then every time, like, we would hang out, or every time that we would just spend time together, or every time that, like, we talked, my mind started going a million miles an hour, and then my vibration started getting lower and lower and lower. But when I stopped talking to him for, like, weeks, I was feeling great. So, more story, trust that shit. All right. That means that whatever it is no longer serving you, right? So if you at peace, so whatever that it is that you let go, that you close, that you have not talked to, that you have not fucked with, that you have not watched, that you have not been, that you have not whatever, that means that it's no longer serving you, right? You need to trust that. You need to be gentle with yourself and trust it. Know your self-worth, that you don't have to attach yourself to these things anymore, because it's time for you to go to another level. We are humans, and it's innate in us to go in different levels of our life. It's not innate. It's not a natural thing for us to just stay stagnant, stay in this way, right? It's in our nature to go up. And yes, it's going to be like this, but you're still going up, right? It's going to be like this, but you're still going up. It's not natural for it to do this, right? It's a natural for it to go spiral up, not spiral down. Okay? Don't be a slave to loyalty. Woo! That's a good one. People always be like, oh, I'm loyal to this person. I've been knowing this person for a long time. He been in my life this long. She been in my life this long. I've been on this job this long time. I've been driving this car for a long time. I've been staying in this place for a long time. I've been watching this TV for a long time. Everybody put this long time thing on it. Like, it's just like that's lit. But no, don't be a slave to your loyalty. Okay? Slave, shackles, beaten, slave. Don't be a slave to your loyalty. You're not obligated to these things. You're stagnant. You just stand here and you're wondering why your life is not excelling, because you're just a slave to it. A slave. Family members, they just think they just obligated to you, or they obligated to do these things. No, you're just as toxic. Next. All right. In the words of my good brother, Drake, things change, people change, and feelings change too. Okay? Brother Drake, always with words of wisdom. Now, reflect and connect. This is how you find out your self-worth. Now, this can look different for many people on how they reflect and connect. People do gratitude journals. People just do journal their thoughts. People write down, like my dad, he likes to jot down things as he go throughout the day. Some of my clients I attach, like for people who overthink, I tell them to just write in the moment of when they're overthinking, no matter where they are, in the car, in the job, wherever you are, just jot down all those thoughts that you have, right? And go down to your top two, right? Because those are usually your first minds. Usually the first one is your first mind. But we're journaling. Journaling helps you to connect the dots in your life. You can reflect on how good you feel and check in with yourself, or how bad you feel. And you can find peace, close chapter, and do a lot of soul searching, right? So this is what journaling does. Gratitude journals is like writing 3 to 5 things that you are grateful for every day. And if you can't find anything grateful for, you need to find things that you take for granted. I am grateful for my lungs working. I am grateful for me being able to talk. I am grateful for water. I am grateful for the sun shining on me. I am grateful for me being able to laugh. I am grateful for my toes wiggling. I am grateful that I have my limbs, right? So you need to say those things. You can't attach yourself to the outside world. I am grateful for my husband, right? You're grateful. You're grateful. You're grateful. You're grateful. You're grateful. But you have to be grateful for things that you take for granted. You know people who don't have no legs. You know people who can't talk. You know people who have that hole in their throat and they talk like this. You know people who are alcoholics and damn near killed themselves. I am grateful that Like, ooh, my depression, I was not grateful that I was alive. Let me make that clear. During my depression, I was not grateful for that. But in that depression, I found saying, I'm grateful that I have one person that I can talk to. I am grateful that I can write. I started finding little things. I'm grateful for that I have groceries. I am grateful for these things, right? So also meditation is an excellent way to reflect and connect with yourself. So in these reflection and connection times to find your self-worth, these are great tools to use, journaling and all this other things. Also connecting with other people, right? So support. Um, when I have a background in psychology, so I did a whole paper on how huge of an impact support is. It's very huge. Like the older we get, the more support we need, right? I mean, that's regardless. Like when you're young, you need somebody in your corner to be like, "Yay, good for you!" Like that's what you do for your kids, right? You need somebody to support you. As you get older, you still need those things. When you graduate college, you want a party or you want people to celebrate you, right? Support system is a huge, 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 huge thing. So find people who connect with people, who uplift, empower you, who make you feel valued, who you don't have to water yourself to be around, right? We find ourselves, especially women, we always water ourselves down to feel loved and accepted. I need to figure out why, but we always do that. Like in relationships, we find ourselves watering ourselves down so we can be loved and accepted. I know what that has something to do with, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Surrounding your surrounding and support system is very important. Um, who you hang around, and you need to hang around people who you don't feel judged. That you don't have your guard up with all the time, that you got to walk on eggshells to talk to. Ooh, I hate those type of relationships. So once you let your guard down around these people, like, and give people opportunities to know who you really are. So we always go into things with our guard up or like all the way up. But put your guard down just a little bit so people can know who you really are. So give them a chance to make their own opinions. Because it's like you didn't give me a chance to trust you because you assumed that I would feel this way. Give people a chance to know who you really are. Be authentic with yourselves. Okay? Setting goals. Ooh, this is a big one. So setting goals in your life helps you feel to be accomplished, right? This it has nothing to do with your self-worth, but it has everything to do with the inner you and who you are. Like if you go attach yourself, say for instance, you like making people laugh, right? That is something that you're worth. That's your inner, right? So you will go and attach yourself to things and goals to help you further that purpose, right? Setting goals. As humans, we always want to feel accomplished, as though we are an asset to the world. Now, gifted and aligned, I'm here to help you achieve these goals. Set these goals and let's find it. Let's attach yourself to your worth and not to the outside world. Let's find who you are internally. Sign up for my one-on-one private coaching. Go to giftedandaligned.com, guys. Sign up for my email. Purchase these ebooks. Find these ebooks. You know, people are suffering in silence. So thank you again, guys, for watching my webinar. I appreciate it. The affirmations for today: I am focused, I am calm, and I am centered. Okay? Namaste. Y'all have a great